Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for today's video we're going to be discussing my top 10 legacy figures of this year. So this is going to be one of a few top 10s I'm going to be doing, purely because A, there's so many different categories, and B, I don't think it's fair to put, things like Victory Saber and Black Zarek up against standard legacy release figures. So this is exactly what that is. So today's video is just standard release legacy figures that you could get everywhere. So I say there's no, I couldn't get that because it was a Generation Selects, or I couldn't get that because it was HasLab, etc. And it's just fairer that way, to be honest. Now, again, this is just my opinion. It doesn't really count for anything, but a lot of the reasons I'm going to give you are exactly that. They're just my reason for them. So this doesn't include Legacy Evolution, because of course that is wave 4. It's just, I suppose, waves 1, 2 and 3 that we've seen a lot of this year. Now, some of these, I suppose, decisions of mine are going to be not controversial, but again, I'm going to give you explanations as to why I feel that they are even in my top 10. So before we start, I need to give a couple of little, as I say, special mentions, and they would have got higher, but I just really liked them. And again, I think it's a little bit harsh or hard to try and compare a core class figure to of course, a deluxe or even a leader class, but these needed a special mention, definitely. I know we obviously had him in Kingdom, but the color scheme on this was just a brilliant idea, and I loved it, and it really worked. So that was one, definitely. Typically Shockwave is in storage already, but yes, Iguanus and Shockwave. Iguanus just because I thought the concept was really good, and there's a nod to this because it was the last G1 figure that I actually got to complete the entire collection. And Shockwave, I've always loved Shockwave, and I love the fact it's got a cheeky little gun mode as well. So special nod to the core class figures. Other special nod is to Laser Prime. Now, and I'm sure most people will agree with me, Cab, amazing, fantastic, love the transformation process, really intricate, really clever, hardly any gaps, nice, weighty, robust figure. Just a bit of a letdown with the trailer. If the trailer had been any much better, this guy would have definitely placed inside my top 10. I was really impressed with the figure, and the same with the Scourge, to be fair. I really like that as well, but it's mainly the cab, and of course I'm going on the whole figure. Still like it, but it didn't make my top 10 for that reason. Okay, on to my top 10, and as I say, let's see what people think anyway. So top 10, number 10 is Crankcase. Now, granted, it's a Skids retool, and he perhaps could have been much better with the fact, with his actual trigger can't action working. I just love Crankcase. Again, now this is where I'm going to be quite, it's not biased, it's my opinion. Obviously everybody's opinion's different, but this is the reasons why. I've just got some really great memories of some of these figures when they were originally released when I was a child, and Crankcase is definitely one of them. So to get him exactly that, updated, looking great, just a brilliant use of the Skids mould, and quite robust. And again, so it's mainly for nostalgic purposes and reasons that I've put Crankcase in at number 10. So this is maybe even a little bit more strange, but again, it's the reason because I had him as a kid, and to be honest, it was his first and only, apart from his IDW Thrilling 30 version, I don't really know any other. And the masterpiece, he had a load of figures this year, to be fair, is Skids. And it's for that reason that up until this year, there was only really the IDW incarnation of him. He just seems to be the forgotten figure. Even in Generation 1, he was the forgotten figure. But again, pre-Crankcase, love the mould. Think the pre-Dire Burnout before her, just a great figure, great mould, nice and simplistic transformation. Nothing too overbearing, overcomplicated, and nice, as I say. It's just so coincidental that he had his masterpiece version released this year as well. Otherwise, this guy doesn't get much love. So for me, that's the reason why I popped him in at number 9. Oh, there goes Laser Prime. And yeah, if anybody's new to this channel, I'm in the process of moving rooms, so that's why it's a bit of a mess. Right, in number 8, only just in because I've only had him for a few days, Point Blank. So pleased they got the Target Master Peacemaker with him. So pleased they managed to keep his name, not Blanker. He has to be called Point Blank. And again, great memories of him as a kid. Love the fact that he's got the Target Master, and just a nice figure. The alternate mode is brilliant. I really like it. And again, the homage to the original figure is just spectacular. So yeah, that's why he's in there. And I'm quite, well, I say quite lucky. It's top 10 would have been quite different. I only literally got wave. In fact, I haven't had Dragon Megs yet, so I haven't included Dragon Megs. I just need to stipulate that. Dragon Megs I've not got yet. I'm sure he would have been quite high up. I don't know. I can only go by what I've obviously seen and actually handled. So, right, next one. This is going to be very controversial because I know a lot of people really don't like this. And it is mainly only because of this mode here. It is Blitzwing. This robot mode to me is phenomenal. For me, again, that is Blitzwing in the cartoon at the beginning of the, you know, the car, exactly when he turns into a tank and he gets rolled over or whatever. Just again, a huge, this is mainly for memories for me. I love the transformation process. I love that it's, I know there's a bit of kibble, especially in the jet mode. I have no idea still what the giant hands or thrusters for. Hopefully we'll see a bit more, or they'll shed a little more light on that in the future. And I know that, again, third-party companies have made and are making ones of these with a lot less kibble. But for me, even though all the kibble on it, again, was a nod to G1 with the fact that you could see the jet nose sticking out in the tank mode, etc. But it's, for me, and I know that you shouldn't gauge or judge a whole figure by one mode, but unfortunately I am. For that robot mode, he has got to go there because he's simply stunning. And these silly little things, I say silly little things, ingenious little things that they popped in, you know, just to keep all the gaps covered up, just really, really clever. And again, a lot of it, I keep saying it, but again, a lot of this is going to be down to nostalgia, I'm afraid. Right, what was that? He was number 7, wasn't he? So number 6 is Bulkhead. And again, Bulkhead was, I suppose, a character. I'm still yet to watch all of Transformers Prime. I'm incredibly guilty. I've not seen any of the animated, so this was my sort of introduction to this character, and I liked it straight away. I like, again, the transformation process. I like the fact that he just fits, and I know that a lot of people were annoyed with the fact that he was a bit too G1ified, if that's even a word. But I liked him. I like the way that you could put the accessories in on the back, and he's, I don't sound silly, he's bulky, he's chunky, he's exactly what he should be. And it was a real introduction. Even though I've got the animated one, it's just something that I picked up in a collection a long time ago. My first real introduction to this figure and this character, and that's why I liked that particular one. And of course, you know, we've got a Wreckers Moles version of him as well, so and I picked that up because I really liked this one, so I was impressed with that. Right, next one is pretty much exactly the same reason, to be honest. This is Knockout. Again, I know it's obviously Studio Series 86 Sideswipe, but what a great use of the mold. What a great figure. Looks awesome. I'm loving the greys, loving the silver, gunmetal grey, etc. Just one of them figures that for me just stood out as soon as I saw it. And yeah, again, I liked doing the review on this. I liked having a little play with him. Just, yeah, thought he was great. And he had to come straight in. Pardon me, number 5. Number 4, again, this is going to be controversial because I believe a lot of people don't like him. But, wow, look at that. And I've got it in the alternate mode for that reason. Because it's beautiful. It is such... That's the cartoon. And not only is that the cartoon, that is the G1 toy. It's spectacular. I love it. I think it's so great. I love the fact they've got the double blasters on the top as well, you know, so pretty much, again, a great homage to the original one. I just really liked it. I really liked it. I liked the transformation process on it. I liked the translucent. Okay, the cape at the back, a little bit. Do they need it? But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Again, another great thing about a Transformers figure is you can configure it or have it display sort of how you want it to look. So for me, straight in at number 4. Just blown away by that, to be honest. That was my most anticipated one for Wave 2. Right, number 3 is Kickback. Again, look at that. It's super simple, as in transformation process, don't have to be a genius. That's the cartoon. That's the cartoon. It's just great. It's a massively improved, updated version of the Generation 1 figure. The transformation process is so similar. The head sculpt is amazing. The chest is amazing. These wings, everything's amazing. And then they went and give you the toy accurate head as well with the Buzzworthy set, which is even better. So for me, again, huge, lovely memories of the cartoon as a kid, and of the toy as a kid. So, and they've already used the molds for Ransack as well. So it's Great mould. Loved it. Loved it, loved it. Right, number 2. It was, well, the reason why number 2 is number 2 and number 1's number 1, I'll explain more when it gets to number 1. That makes no sense. But this was a great, great figure. G-Axis. It was a great figure anyway. It did come completely out of the blue. Again, hold your hands up. Haven't really read Generation 2. Didn't know too much about the character. Only saw the orange version of him from the Thrilling 30, to be honest. This is such a great version. The detail in there and the legs is mind-blowing. I love the extra, you know, the secret bit there where I've got that folded under and you can attach it as a sight on the back of the gun. I love little Easter eggs. I love things that you can do that. If you're unsure again of what I'm talking about, the shoulder piece, there's a little Easter egg. I've done it in a video. You can have a nose. You can bring it off. You can put it as a sight on the back of the gun and you can completely enclose that there so there's nothing sticking out on the side. Great figure, great alternate mode, and again, an introduction to a character that I didn't really know about. So, moving on to my number 1, and you probably guessed it already anyway, and I want to state that it's not because it's the biggest, it's not because it's the most expensive, it's just because it's the first time that I've ever done a transformation process on a figure and been like, wow, like it's ingenious. And it's what prompted me before Blitzwing, before everything, to do multiple transformation process videos, because the transformation process on this figure is amazing. And not just to and from its alternate mode, but to, and this is another reason why it's number 1, is because it's like a double whammy. It's like 2 figures in one. So of course you can guess exactly who it is. It is for Motormaster. And I just thought the transformation process on Motormaster was just out of this world. And then when I did the transformation process to get Motormaster to be the chest piece, again, just totally blown away by it. So for me, and again, I don't have third party, so I know that some third parties have got some amazing transformation processes, etc., but I'm just doing it. This is, again, exactly what I'm just doing. Legacy, mainstream, main retail, everybody's got hold or opportunity to get these, shall we say. Like I said at the beginning, no generation selects, no store exclusives, just normal wave 1, 2 and 3. Shame he was so expensive. However, if you live in the UK, he's near enough half price already at Smith's. Totally worth it. I nearly went and brought another one because he's that good. Yeah, you've got this bit as well, which isn't the greatest. The base mode, I think, is okay. But the Menasor joint, Motormaster and Menasor, are definitely my number 1 picks, just because I think they're fantastic. Let me know in the comments what you think. This is going to be one. I'm going to be doing another top 10 with all of Legacy, including store exclusives. I'm going to be doing a top 10 of the figures that I've picked up vintage, and just an overall other figures that I've picked up. Because I asked people on here if they want to see more top 10s, and that's what everybody agreed. So yes, but this is my top 10 for standard Legacy issue figures, wave 1, 2 and 3. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. What a year we've had. Thanks very much for watching, and if this is the only video that you watch, or in fact it is before New Year's Eve, Happy New Year to everybody, and I'll be speaking to you all soon.